No, we're broadcasting, mate.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we're on, mate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be late. What's going on, Charles?
Oh.
It's supposed to be late, mate. I'll just
There we go.
Yeah.
See if
Slowly get closer. Nick probably shifts along a little bit more.
Yeah.
Leave so dark comfy whatever it is.
No, we're broadcasting, mate.
Oh, fuck.
That sounds quite good, actually.
It does, doesn't it? It's
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah. It sounds clearer than usual.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Were you sat that close to the microphone when you just said that?
Yes.
Oh, motherfucker. That probably sounds shit at a distance.
Well, as we've started, should we just do an audio check? Audio check, audio check.
Audio check, 1, 2.
You are about minus 20.
Minus 20, amazeballs.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
You want to be for some reason audio people decide that good wouldn't be 0 or like so it'd be minus 12. For some reason they decide that's the good one to be at because they're weird.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Skazz.
Sure.
It's
yeah,
true.
so you need to be about minus 12.
Right.
There you go.
And you are not that, so.
You alcoholic.
Hmm.
Let me guess, you're going to run the whole thing through a compressor when you get at home?
Oh yeah. Audio, Adobe Audition, multi-brand compressor, internet delivery output mode, apply it, hard cap it to minus 3 decibels, noise reduce it, top and tail it, render it, post it.
Yeah, that's probably what I do.
Had I have known audio work was that easy, then I'd probably kept
And
it.
then what I normally do is I then normally watch the video stream to write the show notes because I find it easier to write show notes if I'm watching it than when I'm listening to it.
So you prefer to watch 3 goobers sat at a chair? Or sat
Mate,
on a
I put
chair?
on the big 48-inch widescreen TV and
Look
sit
how
there
drop dead
with my laptop.
To be fair,
Sit
he's mostly the one on the chair. We kind of.
Look at
Mate,
all the vacuum
whoa! There's at least 6 inches.
whole chair.
There's at least 6 inches of real
Well,
estate
the
here.
fact
You're
that
not
Ram's-
taking advantage of.
Ram's
Yeah.
sitting like 8 feet forwards, your middle ground, and I'm sat like 30 foot back, so I look like a little midgy guy.
Yeah, you need to talk louder, unfortunately.
Ah,
That's okay. That's perfect. Just keep that noise up.
just
That's
fucking shower.
Get here, by TheSuffolkRam.
Middlemesiter.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 96 of the Randos podcast. Actually, technically 3, because the 100th will be the actual podcast.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
3, so 3 to go. 3 to go.
Yeah.
See, no one can hear that. That's great.
That's not a problem. You leave your camera on autofocus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do that. It's fine.
Forgot?
I forgot to do it. Look, you should by now know this computer is bad at actually doing anything.
In honesty, if I was like, well, we could have set up a compressor on here to do it live. Let's not do that. It's Ram's laptop. Hang on a minute. We could, properly set the white balance and exposure on the camera. No, it's Ram's computer. Let's not do that. I've got a rickety old fucking Lenovo ThinkPad that I've hacked together that costs a fraction of what you paid for that.
And it
works
works.
better. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, the other thing you've got to bear in mind, of course, is that when we used to be in charge of the podcast, we used to start getting ready for about 6 hours before we were due, just so you could do everything. Let's just test that. Is it there yet? No, it's 0.26 decibel out.
Yeah.
Okay, right, don't whatever you're saying, don't move. Okay. Right, I don't like the colour of your skin. Well, the white balance is off. Well, okay.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Can I correct that? No. Oh, can you move that camera 0.72 degrees southward, please, to make it right? That was Skazz broadcasting. We spent more time getting ready to broadcast than actually
In
broadcasting.
fairness, anyone that's worked with me on a live event will flat out, they'll pretty much agree with you on that one, Ram. I used to freak the fuck out all the way up until the second that we went live. I was like, shit, is that good enough? The audio doesn't look right. fucking hell, the camera's blocked. The camera's blocked. Is the renderer ready? Oh my god.
When he used to do the round table ones, he'd sit there and he had the little like control box. Was that the Zoom H?
Yeah, the H6.
H6, that was it. And he controlled individual channels, and we all had our own channel. And he'd sit there constantly, fractionally change the channels. I was like, oh come on, really? It's like oh, RAM is looking slightly to the left. Down a little bit. I was to the right, up a little bit.
And then I spent 2 weeks editing the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean,
is the podcast ready yet? No.
Like fucking mate, that was some proper multi-track work right there. Admittedly, I've listened to some of it and I'm quite ashamed of the work in it, but
well,
it's alright.
There we are. Anyway, games we've been playing. Skazz.
Oh, for God's sake, Monster Hunter.
Still.
No,
the new one.
Oh, the new one. I thought the new one got released on
Generations.
Yeah.
There was another new one. So there was one released this year, wasn't there? February time, was there not?
Well,
on Switch.
January, February. No, January, February time for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Then it got released.
PC a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this month PC. Last month PC.
And there's already another one.
No, well, right. I already covered this in the last podcast. But my theory is, rewind a bit, Monster Hunter Generations came out on Nintendo DS back in 2015 in Japan as Monster Hunter Cross. It got
original DS, not 3DS.
3DS. It then got updated to Monster Hunter Double Cross and then ported to the Nintendo Switch pretty much months after the Switch released in Japan.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I could be a bit off on that one, but it definitely came out a long ass time ago in Japan. The original came out on DS years and years and years ago. We got it years and years and years ago on 3DS as well. Translation, done, not a problem. Japan gets the Switch version. They don't bother with it for us. We were like, when are we going to get Monster Hunter Double Cross on the Switch? When is it coming, Capcom? No word. Not a fucking peep. Then all of a sudden, Monster Hunter World comes out on PlayStation 4, just sells a huge amount, a ridiculous amount. It's like Capcom's best-selling game ever, or something to that effect, or one of their best-selling games ever.
And you just hear the accountant going.
Yeah, that was it. And they were like, so what I reckon happened was, they were like, Nintendo Switch is quite popular, isn't it? Yeah. Right, Monster Hunter, that's very popular on PlayStation. We're like, yeah. Do we have anything like that on Nintendo Switch? We've got Monster Hunter Double Cross in Japan right now. And they're like, oh, yes, sounds good. How much will that cost to translate? Don't you worry, Bean Counter. We've already got the translation because we released the game on 3DS about 200 years ago. And they're like, oh, so why didn't we release it on the Nintendo Switch in English? Because
I like the fact your bean count is now gone to make posh English.
Because, motherfucker, Monster Hunter never sells. But now the world is incredibly popular. Maybe if we hold this release back until after World comes out on the final platform it's due out on, PC, then we'd have saturated the market. Everyone that would want to play Monster Hunter, or everyone who's never heard of Monster Hunter before, will be like, hey, fuck yeah. That one, now there's one coming out on the Switch. And then they released it. They decided to finally patch the Switch version with the translation they had on the DS version millions of years ago. And now we have Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Which is fucking dumb, to be honest.
Is it any good?
Yes. It's an old Monster Hunter. It's a classic Monster Hunter. Because it came out before the whole rebuild for World, yes, it's actually pretty good because it plays just like an old Monster Hunter game.
Very full on.
Very hardcore.
Don't you have to get further in the multiplayer, don't you have to go through the single player as well, or first to unlock things for the multiplayer?
You generally do the single player missions in multi anyway, if I remember rightly, but I can't.
I thought you had to do both in this one.
I can't remember.
No.
Well, in fairness, I never played Generations on DS, but
right, okay.
I remember my lot going through big chunks of of lower level quests to try and figure out how to unlock stuff and all that. But no, it plays like a classic Monster Hunter. So the grind is there. There's no help. There's no you know, little glowing flies to tell you where things are to pick up. There's nothing that shows you where the monster is. There's load screens between zones on the map now, just like the classic Monster Hunter games. The graphic style is very classic Monster Hunter. If a monster hits you, it hits you like a fucking tank and you are dead, unlike Monster Hunter World. I mean, let's put it this way. Monster Hunter World, you get into your first big fight within half an hour, and you've had loads of pretty cutscenes and really nice music and all that. Right, you've taken on your first kind of big monster. You know, the thing that's like, I don't know, the size of a tank versus something that's like the size of a horse. In Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, you go on about 2 hours before you get to something even remotely bigger than, oh, I don't know, an ant.
It's almost like you've had to actually do a hunt.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I played the last one on the 3DS. I can't remember. I think that was 4. Yeah, but it was like 4 Ultimate or.
Yeah, 4U. Yeah.
And that was. I played it for a few hours, but it was so dense and so hard to get into. I couldn't. I think if I played World first, I think World could be a good start point for people if they really like that. Then maybe go on to the harder one.
A few people I know who have gone from World because they didn't know Monster Hunter existed first. They didn't get on with.
I thought that might be a
because it just literally booted them square in the bollocks. Yeah, get on with it.
It'd be like going from, like, you know, Call of Duty to Armour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
going to be
there's no
a real shock there. Yeah.
No 360, no scope and an Armour, mate.
I liked it. I just found it very, very dense and, you know, hard to find a way in for me. You know.
Sure. Well, I mean, if there's ever a point you, I mean, Inky got into Monster Hunter 4.
Right. Yeah.
And she came and played it with some of my lot. Although, admittedly, shamefully, by the time she got in, we all hopped out. So, which is usually the case with Inky, bless her. Like, she'll get into Destiny as we're now on the tail end of leaving it because we've been playing.
Oh, bless her. But, she must feel like she's really unloved. Like, I'm here to play Oh, they've all gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think
we do feel guilty.
Was it something I said?
I think I might have liked it more if it was on a big screen. That might have been a part of it. That seemed like an odd game to have on a handheld because it was so big.
Well,
it seemed weird to have it on
most of Monster Hunter's popularity came from the Portable series, or the Freedom series as we call them over here. So you had Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter 2, then you had Monster Hunter Freedom 1, Freedom 2, was it Unite, and then Monster Hunter Try.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one,
which was on the Wii. That was the first one that we got on an actual telly.
I remember that
for a million years. That wasn't the only one because after that you had 3U on 3DS and Wii U, so 3 Ultimate, which allowed you to transfer your save from the 3DS version to the Wii U version. Wasn't the first one to do it. Monster Hunter Portable 3rd on PlayStation 3 and PSP did the exact same thing, but was a Japan only release on PlayStation. Then we had Monster Hunter 4U, which was a 3DS only game, which is a shame. Very good Monster Hunter game, and in my opinion, probably one of the better ones.
It looked stunning. I had that on my new 3DS. That looked really, really good.
I actually got the new 3DS just to play Monster Hunter 4.
yeah.
Because I was using the regular 3DS in the what the fuck do they call it? The big piece of plastic with the extra analog stick on it.
Oh yeah. I can't remember what they call it, but yeah, because
Inky ended up using that in the end. And then I got the new 3DS with the thumb nub.
Like the nubbin thing, yeah.
Because a second analog stick was kind of a thing. I'd gotten so used to playing the console versions of Monster Hunter without having that camera control there. It was just
that works really well, doesn't it? That nubbin
it
thing.
Really does. If all you're using it for is spinning the camera around, it worked really well.
Yeah.
Look, really, really, really fun series, and it's now back on a telly. Because you've got Monster Hunter Generations from years ago is now compatible with... Saves are compatible between Generations from 2015, 2016 and Generations Ultimate. So if you've got a Hunter on the 3DS, just put it over on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
You just put it straight over.
That's a port, isn't it, rather than like a remaster or anything?
Well, which is the same thing they did with 3U.
Yeah.
3U was just Monster Hunter Try, but upscale.
Yeah.
Which was fine because Try was a brilliant Monster Hunter. Absolutely brilliant Monster Hunter. In fact, that was probably one of my favourites because it was one of the first ones that... See, I didn't play the Monster Hunter Portable and Freedom series as hardcore as most did. I played them, but that's how most people kind of got their multiplayer fix. Most of my lot didn't play PSP. I only had one Monster Hunter friend who had a PSP, and playing multiplayer Monster Hunter with them was like once in a blue moon. Yeah. So Try was the first one, because that, you know, you could connect to the internet with a system that had internet built into it. The Wii already had Wi-Fi built in. Unlike the PlayStation 2 days when you had to buy the modem and stuff like that. So that was my first hardcore leap into Monster Hunter multiplayer, which is why that one stuck with me so much. I
suppose the Switch, though, you can't talk, can you, over the internet?
Talk in Monster Hunter?
I thought you voice chatted while you played. You didn't chat with people then when you played that.
No, that's what Skype's for.
Well, that's what most of my lot did, because I was playing with most of the Americans.
Oh, I see.
So we tended to.
Was that interesting experience?
Mate, some of the people I played Monster Hunter with, we were hardcore hunters. You know, to get carted in that game past a certain point was just that was a. You might as well just go stand outside. Here's the shotgun. Stick it in your mouth and just go away. You fucking failed now, mate. Give up. Like, I can remember when we first all got into Try together, because we didn't really know how each other played, and it had been a long time since I played a Monster Hunter game. I got wrecked by one of the low end monsters. But once we got back into our groove, we were just steamrolling everything. You know, we were like a 3-man wrecking crew in that game. It was great. And then when Monster Hunter 4 came out, I had other Monster Hunters trying to tell me how to play the game, even though I was already ahead of them in the game. I was like, yeah, but you've got to do this. It's like, dude, I've already done it. Like, I'm right towards the end of the game at this point. I am steamrolling this motherfucker. You lot are dilly-dallying behind. At one point, I was carrying a 3-man squad through a couple of hunts. Just like, guys, just stand over there. Right, and when I kill it, you come and cover it.
You guys just go and sort of play in the dirt over there. I'm going to do them proper work.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, you know, when you get like a kid, it's helping like sort of its dad do some housework, and it's like got a little toy hammer, it's hammering a bit of wood, and you're actually on actual proper work. It was like that sort of.
Yeah, that was pretty much how it was.
You go with a paintbrush with no paint on it and just sort of watch them. Like, you're doing really well over there, son. Really well. Thanks,
I've never done that with my kids. If it's ever been a job,
you got straight down the pit of 2, didn't you?
There you go, fucking.
Earn their keep in this world.
Fucking there you go, have a hammer, son. Fucking go on with that. Fucking. See that nail? Just fucking whack it one. Oh, what? You smashed the table? Not a problem, son. Have another go. Here's the fucking sledgehammer. Yeah. But no. So Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Very good game. The rollback to the old Monster Hunters, do not expect it to go easy on you. No. It's not going to throw you straight into the action. In fact, the game actually calls you a pussy. It says you're too green, in so many words, to go up against the bigger monsters. You've not even got out your diapers yet, as one of the chiefs says. It's like, you're a fucking baby hunter. You ain't got any skills, so we're going to just send you off to go collect herbs in the forest or something. You know? And until you do that.
Your first task is to hunt the small grey squirrel over there.
Oh, that's too dangerous. You've never seen a squirrel in Monster Hunter, have you? They're pretty fucking. They're pretty hardcore, mate.
You come back and cry, I got beat up my finger really hard. Like a football. Oh, it hurts like a football. Oh,
football? They'd have been dead.
Yeah. It nipped my ankle, I'm dying.
Then they just looked at him, they just shat their pants, fell on the floor and started crying. It's like, damn, son. But no, it's, for me, I think it's a really fun game because it's a throwback to the old Monster Hunter games. I'm looking forward to playing it multiplayer with people. It's got a LAN mode on it as well, so you can play it. Cool. You can play it locally with people on DS and there. Typical Monster Hunter fare. You're recruited. The village chief says, "Go fuck up this monster." You go and fuck up that monster, and you get like a 50-minute time limit, 3 knockouts per quest. Just get in there, learn the pattern, don't get hit, win. Carve the fucking monster, get enough stuff to make better armor, move on to the next challenge. Rinse, repeat. There's a spit of a story there, but we won't even go into it because it's kill monsters.
Cool.
It's not very vegetarian or vegan friendly.
Well, that's good.
It's absolutely brilliant. Nice soundtrack. Graphically for a DS game upgrade, looks pretty nice. frame rate's around 30, but then old Monster Hunter games never really used to run a ridiculous frame rate anyway. Good game. Good game. If you played World, I try it, but it's nothing like World. All of the quality of life stuff that people will look, yay! Monster Hunter World, I can heal whilst I'm running. No, none of that. I can gather whilst I'm running. None of that. Oh, I don't have to look for the monster because the game tells me where it is. None of that. You actually got to do some work here, people.
Dear.
But no, I've been really thoroughly enjoying it. It's basically the game is a series of boss battles.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it's not like when I remember many years ago I played a really crap game. And it's called Deer Hunter 2000.
I remember that.
It was a deer hunting simulator game.
You think that was going to be a good game?
I remember
No,
that.
it wasn't a good game.
No.
Oh, no, it's not. That's what I've been playing. I'm just saying that I'm playing
Yeah.
that back. That's what 2000. Yeah, and yeah, you just had to sort of wander around and like you had fake deer calls and you had the bowl scent that smelled like deer in season and to make the male deer come and say hello and shoot them
And shoot them.
and shoot them.
You
Never
like
trust a
medicine.
lady. Pum.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
Yeah.
It was a weird time. Those
They
Deer
do
Hunter games.
still come out occasionally, like with some weird guy's name, like Dave Destula's
Yeah,
Deer Hunter, or
What
you
was
know,
it?
they're weird
Game
ones,
Hunter and
yeah.
all
We're
that kind of thing.
talking like early 2000s, ain't it?
That would be
It's
early
about the same
2000s.
time as Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
About the same time as the first Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter was
it
bad.
was quite
No,
nice to
imagine
walk.
so.
It was quite nice walking through the woods in Deer Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk through the woods, it's like, and occasionally see a deer, and then I shot a deer, and I felt really guilty afterwards.
Was there any Russian roulette or anything like that?
No, there was none of
No,
that in there.
no.
No, it wasn't there. There was no
Right.
enemy soldiers in there at all
Yeah.
or anything. It's funny, Deer Hunter, I always used to feel guilty watching this. I play Far Cry 3 and I don't care.
Moaning all the people. Moaning all the people.
Oh, no, I don't care. I know about killing people in these games. That's never bothered me in games. Killing animals, I always go,
I know, it's weird. Yeah, I'm the
Well, yeah,
same.
because people suck.
I hate
Well,
killing horses in
I
Red
sort
Dead.
I sort of think to myself that people like, you know, I sit there and I shoot the guy and I thought, wow, he's probably a trap, wasn't he? You know, he
Right,
probably,
yeah.
You don't think about his poor wife and children that are waiting
I
for
always,
him to come home. then.
every
No,
time I kill
it's
someone, I think, well, there's probably a good reason why he had to die. You know, he's a twat, or I don't know, perhaps he's parking disabled spaces, or
The
you know.
dude's still wearing bell bottoms.
Yeah.
It's 2018, man.
He dropped a bit of litter once, you know. It's all that sort of stuff. I always think good reasons why they deserve to die.
I saw that motherfucker drop a cigarette butt in the fucking forest. Only you can help prevent forest fires, you
But I didn't kill him. I was channeling I was channeling Smokey Bear at that moment. when I shot him.
Bitch.
I always have that Austin Powers bit, you know, where he kills that.
He rolls
Just like
around.
No one ever
Yeah,
thinks
well,
the life of a
it's,
henchman.
Yeah, his wife and kid and stuff.
Yeah.
Daddy won't be coming home this evening. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They do it twice. They do one with the little kid, and they do later one with the pub, like the day before his wedding, don't they? They're about to do his stag do. He's always been run out by a steamroller.
Yeah.
Good
Good
times.
times.
The bit that always cracks me up in Austin Powers is the bit where he gets the the little buggy.
Stuck in the corridor, yeah, and he just reverse forward. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's very
And he's
funny.
literally
So-
stuck.
Yeah, it just takes him forever. Yeah. It doesn't bother him, he's just doing it as if it's a normal thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
So that bit always cracks me up.
That is very funny.
That was the. I did giggle off, but that was the one bit I actually just burst out laughing. I saw that.
Mm.
They were funny films. They were funny films.
Yeah, surprised
Yeah.
they stopped at 3, really.
I see. The first one, I enjoyed the first one. Second one was
Alright,
Okay.
third one, let it go.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you know, they could have brought it back to the later ones.
The
but-
trouble is when you do a spoof like that, you can only really spoof it once because you do tend to hear all the main high notes in the first one. The second one, you have to sort of
Yeah.
repeat it
I
all
saw the
again.
second one first, but I prefer the first one.
Do you know that's the same I did? I saw the second one first because on I used to have Sky. We used to have Sky Movies, and you could rent the films.
Yeah.
And I watched it on Sky Movies. Back in the days before early on demand, where you had like a number of channels, they all started at like 15-minute intervals.
The old Sky box office kind of.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember watching them. That one later. And so, oh.
Back when satellite television was relevant.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then there's going to be people like listening to this. What's satellite television?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's more relevant over here than in America, I think, because at least with Sky, you
Because
can
they
get,
have cable, don't they? So.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you get like the HBO shows and all that.
Well,
kind of
cable's
stuff.
probably monopoly over there,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Cable is your internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor America. How you let yourself get in that situation?
At least they got Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's small blessings, hey? Small
Well, at
blessings.
least they
hey,
have fucking Margaret Thatcher light like we have.
You know, they've got
Diet Maggie.
At least they've got their their Russian proxy in charge. So yeah, it's. I mean, I suppose President Putin is. They must have been glad they voted him into power.
Hey, it is good about top one on top of a horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you do, as you need all of your dictators to sit there and flex.
To be fair, out of all the dictators, President Putin's the only one who can pull it off. I mean, can you imagine, like sort of David Cameron doing that?
I don't think technically he would be counted as a dictator. Not technically.
Well, Putin's not. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Any of the world leaders. Can you imagine David Cameron or Berlusconi sort of doing a topless calendar?
I can, but I don't want to.
For very poor charity. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to so I haven't played Deer Hunter.
No.
Or Deer Avenger.
Oh, man.
That's deserving of remake. You see, Deer Avenger, that really is.
Never heard of
I don't know why, but it makes me think of like a Die Hard film where it's an action
Deer
game where the deer goes and kills everyone.
Yes, that's what Deer Avenger is.
Oh, there you go.
Deer Avenger is you play a deer hunting people, and and as you shoot people, you get their heads get mounted in your little like sort of camera. Yeah,
That's quite good.
yeah. It was also done as response to the deer hunting games. So just we'll have one where you play as it's like, it'd be like playing as a duck in Duck Hunt. Anyway, I've been playing a game called, I've already forgotten the name of it. That's good.
2 Point.
2 Point Hospital.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Someone said that. They said something about that to me. It's like theme hospital, but
It's you know
Yeah,
what?
I've seen quite a few videos of it. So.
It's actually for me it's unusual because it got released on the 30th, so it's actually a new game I've been playing. It's been released by a major publisher, Sega, rather than like some little indie publisher.
I heard it's on Linux too.
I believe it is, yeah. I believe it is.
Sega, what are you doing?
It is, and it's for all intents and purposes, it's Theme Hospital 2. They've pretty much copied the formula from Theme Hospital. If you play Theme Hospital, this is going to be just a modern version of it. But they've
The other thing is I've heard of it as well.
Yeah, that
Major
makes
publisher.
that is a major difference. Normally I say this game, and Milgos goes, never heard of that.
What's that, man?
Yeah. That's not a AAA console game. Oh, I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, that's pretty much. But to be fair,
it doesn't come from a publisher. It cost me
That's not their
$270.
I do get indie games, but ones that are fairly well known. I use my Switch is basically an indie player. Yeah.
And the trouble is, the indie games that you'll probably think,
Yeah.
just in case you'll probably think of, the indie games made by 500 people.
The indie
Our
games
boy is
made
one
by
person.
EA.
Our boy was only one person.
Still haven't finished that, I need to
Me
play
either.
that.
I play it. I enjoy playing that just for the music, but
Yeah, I've got the soundtrack.
yeah.
There you go. So you need to play it.
Poor of us.
So yeah.
Anyway.
Basic idea. If you're playing for a hospital, you know what you're doing. You start off in the hospital. The hospital buildings are pre-done. You can fill out the interiors, but you can't.
Yeah, just like Theme Hospital.
Yeah, just like that Theme Hospital. Yeah, and you basically have to set up like a treatment. So you start off with reception to meet people. They want a GP office where they'll talk to the people and decide what they want to do. Initially, you'll have just a pharmacy, which will do the basic treatments. And then as you get more advanced, as they diagnose more advanced cases, you'll
As they die. It's like, Christ, they've been there.
Oh,
that
they
long.
do die. They become ghosts occasionally, and they have to have a down to
I am
ghost.
channeling the spirit of the world's greatest surgeon.
No, they become a ghost, and they wander around scaring people, leaving ectoplasm everywhere. But then what you do is you get a janitor who's got the ghost busting attribute, and they go up there, and they suck him into a little handheld like Hoover,
Yeah.
and suck him up. So, which is weird. But yeah,
Could you imagine getting scared by a ghost as you're on the slab?
Well, I ain't got to the bit with surgeries yet. I'm only I played for 4 hours, and sort of each level is your hospital has each hospital get like a 3-star rating, and you have to achieve milestones to get to that star rating. They'll vary by each level, so that's basically a level progression. As soon as you get 1-star rating, you unlock the next level.
Okay.
But if you want to stay, I mean, I did that initially for the first I was really small, and I got 1 star, and I thought, well, I want to move on to the next one and see some more things. But I got that way up to 3 stars, and I got the next one up to 3 stars, so I got up to 2.
Because you can't go back, can't you?
Yeah. So each it's a bit like The Sims, where each hospital is independent. so you can just hop back and forth as you want and get one up to 3. So once you've got to 3 stars, you basically can move on. You've got unlocked it because you get stars. You unlock things, and it could be things like new rooms, new items, and so forth. You can unlock like better skills or upgrades, that sort of thing. So you basically split your office in your hospital into rooms, and they do different things. Some will be like general stuff, like you've got GP's office does lots of things, your pharmacist does lots of things, you have a ward does lots of things. Then you have like specific rooms that do things. So you have like the deluxe clinic, which people who have suffer from lightheadedness, which people have light bulbs for heads, and they go in deluxe clinic. It's all like unscrews their light bulb, and then they're all like that. So you've got chest infection, which is people who look like clowns. What else is there? There's verbal diarrhea, where people just constantly speak horrible things. It's all that sort of stuff. It's sort of all funny names diseases. It's got rats in it as well. Oh, you can shoot the rats as well, like you can a theme hospital. They've literally
just said, look, here's theme hospital. Let's just reskin it.
They sort of thought Peter Molyneux's not making theme hospital 2. No one else is. People who've got the name haven't done anything with it. Bugger, let's just make Theme Hospital 2 and just not tell anybody.
Yeah.
We'll call it 2 Point Hospital and not bother telling anybody. I mean, the thing is, it's called 2 Point Hospital. It sounds like 2.0, version 2.0.
Yeah.
But it's got the same things. You've still got the little announcer who does all the funny jokes and gags and like, patients are advised from the health inspector here, please don't die. Yeah. That sort of thing.
I might have to get that for Inky actually, because she really enjoyed Theme Hospital.
Yeah, it plays just like Theme Hospital. It's like literally as you expect. Someone's took Theme Hospital, redone it, improved all sort of bits and pieces. It still works the same way. You recruit doctors, nurses, assistants.
I know one way that Theme Hospital's better.
What?
This new game isn't on the Amiga.
That's very true. That is very true. And there's no talk of an Amiga port, which is a damn shame. They've not mentioned it yet. I mean, they're talking about system specs and that sort of thing, but I don't think even the Amiga they released in the 90s, I think could quite handle it.
It's not even on consoles yet. They said they've had so much interest for consoles that they'll probably end up there. So, but
it's got some brilliant sort of it's one thing also which I always say about these management games, which makes or breaks a management game, is the interface. If the interface is well designed, it makes it easy. So it's got some smart things in it. So for example, say you know the old thing, you set up a room and then a bit later on you realise you've put it in the wrong place. Now most games where you set up, you'd have to build a new room and demolish the old ones.
Yeah.
You can bloody move the rooms in this.
Fucking hell, could you imagine being in the bed in that room as a falls move? Fuck! Sliding across the
what happens is, if you've got...
It's a American video.
So, it works like Prison Artist. So when you draw out a room, and this is where it gets over smart, is... in Prison Artist, when you draw out a room, you need certain things in it to make it valid. Yeah. And you have to then go... And in Prison Artist, you have to go click for the menu, put it in. This game, automatically, as soon as you draw the room out, it instantly transports and puts the first item you need. As soon as you place that, boom, the next item appears in your button to click. So you just literally keep clicking to all lines of place. Drop. And then you can add more stuff to it. So obviously you increase, if the rooms are bigger, people like it more. You can put like stuff into making more in prestige. And rooms can have levels of prestige, which make people like it more. So hospitals got lots of prestige. You'll get more patients go there, more higher value patients. So I've got pictures of dogs everywhere in my hospital.
It is unrealistic in one. Because you're allowed plants, aren't you, in that one?
Yes.
And you're not allowed plants in hospitals anymore.
There might be fake plants.
Yeah.
Although they have to be watered because they wilt, so they're not fake plants.
Because they're carbon dioxide.
Yeah, but what happens if it turns out...
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure any plants can produce that much carbon dioxide. I appreciate it if you're like in the asthma clinic, I appreciate that. But I can't produce that much carbon dioxide in the grand scheme.
No, but you know what health and safety are like.
Yeah, that sounds a bit weird to me.
There might be more to it, but
I would say it's more to it. That sounds like a weird reason.
Yeah.
That must be more to it than that.
Probably.
So it's got so you can move rooms, you can edit rooms once you've placed them, you can add and delete and alter them as well. Or if you build a room and there's people walking through it, when you complete it, they all get flung out of it and thrown in they all like sort of
and that's when they start going into surgery because they've just been spotted against the wall or thrown out of the building and part of the face.
It is quite amusing when people die because you do a treatment and
fucking as it always is.
Oh no, because what happens is
sounds like a George Carlin book.
Well, they don't die like in the bed. So like they don't just like die in the hospital bed, for example. There's like treatment's failed, the patient's dying, so they get out of bed, they sort of wander about dying. Occasionally they wander into a corner like a cat, just all die quietly and no one bothers them. They just then keel over and die. It's like...
That's quite realistic. I think a lot of NHS hospitals are similar to that now.
Yeah, but like it's just... Yeah. But NHS hospitals, you charge patients for care.
It says nothing like an American hospital then, because, you couldn't afford to die in an American hospital.
No.
Well, no, you can afford to die. It's your family can't afford you to die in an American hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's so you do that, and as you go through each hospital, introduce a new thing. So first hospital is just the basics of how to administrate. Second hospital then introduce you like sort of more advanced buildings and so forth, and how you get sort of like upgrades and so forth, and psychiatry and extra sort of treatments. And as you go to the next hospitals, then teach you about training staff. So you have to, you can basically, one neat thing is the staff will have like a rating, which as they practice when they get higher, they have a number of like training dots, like circles, which have of skills. So like a doctor might be really good as a GP, or a nurse might be really good running a ward. So you can train them to run a ward, and they'll be, so if you put them in a ward, they'll get a bonus to running it. So they'll have different skills and so forth. And the more skills they have, the better. But what you can do is you can then train those skills to other people. So you can have a training room, and you then like click what you want to teach, say ward management. And then you'll click a button and it shows you all the people in your hospital who've got that qualification. You select one of them, and then you can, as many seats you set up, you can have people being trained, and they'll then train out to all these other people. So that's neat. You can pass on skills on other people. That's really neat and really quite a clever system. You can also, if you ain't got that skill, you can hire outside trainers to come and train them for you. So if you find you're in a hospital, you've got no one who's got psychiatry.
Get the janitor to do it.
Yeah, well, it's not a skill janitors have. Some janitors you can.
And why not?
Well, look, I know we see all these films, and the janitor is always the most wisest person anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you ever need to, if ever you'll find your life is coming to a severe issue, whether it's bullying or relationships or like family life, or you don't know what you're going to do with your future, you always go speak to the janitor, because despite the fact they work in just cleaning other people sick up, they know how the whole world works and always can dish out friendly advice.
No, but you know why? It's because they've been to the top and they thought it was bollocks, so they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to...
Matt Damon was a very good janitor. Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Very, very, very smart.
So I think Boothby from Star Trek.
You always think of stuff from Star Trek.
Which I don't really like Star Trek that much either, which is the ironic thing.
Yeah,
I think it's called Star Trek Discovery.
Best show ever.
I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, but you're weird. You like Neo Autonomous, so there you go.
Yeah, fucking...
I had my issues, I'll admit that. I had my issues.
Its main one being it's awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Klingons just sounded pathetic and awful.
Should
we not go down that rabbit hole again?
No, we won't. That's no, at least you can understand what you're saying then. You couldn't understand what the Klingons were saying.
Fuck, it would have been funny if that was the Klingon.
We've got any coming back.
What was that kid show back? Sim or fucking Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Man.
Flubber-dub.
Oh, Flubber-dub, yeah. Flubber-dub. That could be one breed of Klingons. The other one's a
We've got to. No, see, we need to make the V-Nets.
We can redub it.
Yeah, we could do.
You can watch an episode, just redub it, like bad lip sync.
Yeah. Like an
That'd be quite funny.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Every time they come on, just go.
And you know what? It still sounds better than what they had.
Yeah. And then cut to like the humans with strange reactions to it,
That's a YouTube video to be made.
Yeah.
Anyway, complete off track. Yeah. So as you get through upgrade things, you can upgrade your machinery and so forth, which improves their chance of success. You can people get promoted at the end of every year. Oh, you'll like this. Now this is why I know it's an NHS hospital, because time is measured in days, not hours. Days. So you'll click a patient and say, patient's been queuing for 7 days.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Patient is going to have an appointment in 3 days' time. Patient was at the GP. 2 days later, goes to the GP. Patient's now queuing for the next treatment.
Patient
14
is
days.
now fucking dead.
Yeah. Patient was treated for mild cold. Total time hospital 262 days.
In fairness, we should. NHS ain't that bad.
Oh no.
The nurses and staff are very dedicated.
I think what we'd say it's friendly picking, but actually I don't think anyone here would get rid of the NHS.
No,
mate,
that's the government side that's the problem. The actual people that work there.
Side of it, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are, my sister's a nurse, so.
Unfortunate soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, compared to the alternative where you have to.
She did meet a famous person, though. The king from Lord of the Rings, the one that was.
Hang on, this is about to break doctor-patient confidentiality or something.
I suppose they could do well.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah. Oh yeah, that guy.
Well, she's a nurse, not a doctor, but.
I'm sure it's breaking some law rules.
Yeah.
She probably should have told you that.
Some guy.
Anyway. Goes like, well, that guy.
She met some guy, did she? I'm pretty sure she'll meet many of those.
That famous guy who was in Lord of the Rings as the king. He went there, and do you know what? He had a really bad STD infection.
Yeah, he's just old. That was all. There's 7 kings in Lord of the Rings, so it doesn't give anything away.
He nails it down, though, doesn't it? Each one of them.
You'll never know for sure.
Yeah, but now everybody's been looking at Lord of the Rings thinking, I bet it was him. Yeah. He looks like the sort who has an STD infection.
It didn't have anything like that, by the way. He was just old.
Just old. Old. My condition.
There's
you're
that
old.
medical condition now.
You're old.
So what happens to be the problem? I'm old.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, there's nothing to do about that. If you give it a few years, it'll solve itself.
Yeah.
We'll save a fuck ton of money on this one.
No, he sees that down. You said his problem is that he was old. That narrows it down even more because there aren't that many old kings in Lord of the Rings.
You said it would break confidentiality, so I'm just saying he's old. As an excuse, he could be a very young man. I'm just saying he's old.
There you go.
Yeah. What's your sister's name? Which hospital does she work at? Flubber-dub. Yeah. I was hoping you just went to podcast. Just imagine if someone joins podcast now and you're doing that and I'm just doing Flubber-dub.
Yeah.
See what I have to put up with.
Yeah.
This is why I'm glad I don't edit this shit anymore.
This is why I always insist on drinking now 2 cans of alcohol when I do a podcast. I find it makes it go so much more fun.
Yeah, 2 drink minimum.
Fuck, we better get started.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to drink, so.
I'm already as aggressive and foul-mouthed as can be.
Yeah. But yeah, Stupor Hospital, it's really good. It's like a thing. £20.
Fucking hell. Right.
For a brand new game.
I'll be waiting. Yeah. What engine's it in?
I have no idea.
You get it in the Steam sale and never play it.
Yeah, which like most of my
I need to look at the developer because I read the developer must be British because all the vehicles drive on the left. Yeah. And a lot of the places where your hospital is, so as you expect,
well, mate, you said it was theft of other games, so
yeah.
I saw a developer interview and they were both English.
Yeah, if it was American, you couldn't even get into the hospital without being dressed up like Mr. Monopoly. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it looks very English and when you have you can buy like arcade machines where they play Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't think the Americans would do the humour quite right.
No,
it was American.
No, that's the charm from hospitals. It's very British humour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you're dead.
And I think they have a health and safety inspector called Jobsworth.
You're look, you're dead, and now your family is homeless. Yeah. That's the American.
There's a radio in it as well. Like GTA had the radio stations where they listen through. There's a radio in it, and they go through different presenters, all playing music and different presenters. All get a patter. Yeah, it's all like a Lazo type S person, and there's like this really snotty British chap. He sounds a bit like Prince Charles. Sort of thing.
Can't play that.
Yeah, he says he's on there as well. It's a really it's got a lot of. It's a real charming little game. I can see why it's been very popular. I mean, I've been streaming it on. I streamed it on Twitch last night for 4 hours, and the only reason I stopped streaming was that I had work and I had to go to sleep. Otherwise, I would have kept going.
Priorities, mate. Come on.
So, but hopefully I might stream some more tomorrow night. Yeah. So good. Yeah. Really good game. So, Minimise, I understand you've not.
No. Shock horror. I bought a new game, but I've only.
You just stared at it.
I did. I put in a couple of hours, but nowhere near enough for a proper review.
What did you buy?
I was on
PS2.
No. On PS4.
Start Discovery the game.
I was $14.99.
Klingon Simulator.
No. It was Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. which has all the DLC season pass that's been released so far.
Yeah.
But I've only played like a couple of hours, so I can't really
I've got
judgment on it.
15 on PC. I've not played it yet.
No, I do like what I played, but just haven't played enough.
Yeah.
For that was 100 gigabytes, so it's obviously a big game, so there's not enough to.
You still play
100 gigabytes is nothing.
That's quite a lot. That's a lot for PS.
That's a game.
Oh yeah, of course you got PlayStation.
I was going to say it's a game from 1995 on PC.
So I remember when they were
Are they really that high, like the installs of PC games?
Yeah, it's because they're decent graphics on them, isn't it?
I was going to say Tekken, fucking fighting game was over 70 odd gigs.
I think for the PlayStation, from what I can see, dialogue, like voice acting, seems to add an awful lot of memory. Because I've played, I've played big games that don't have dialogue.
Textures and audios, yeah.
Audio in Final Fantasy games, Square ain't gonna fuck up audio.
No.
Gods, they've had some top class composers
Yeah.
work on those games. They're one of the only companies I know that release high res audio of their soundtracks.
Yeah.
Like, they actually record. Like where they're like, no, a CD isn't good enough. You want the soundtrack, you buy it on fucking Blu-ray in fucking 7.1 surround, and you're like, all right, I'll set up an audio room then.
It's definitely.
Like, you got to put the Blu-ray in so you can just listen to it on your little stereo speakers. The fucking head of Square Enix just comes in, fucking table flips, bitch slaps you, and then fucking says, no, that's not how you do it.
That's definitely a feature because in the car you can listen to classic Final Fantasy music as you drive along. So
So it's cars in it.
Yeah, you drive around in the desert to begin with. I haven't seen half any of the big stuff yet, so I'll wait. I will review it.
It's almost got past the main menu screen.
Yeah, basically.
In fact, it does actually feel like that from what I've seen of Inky play.
It takes a long time before it
actually
opens up, gets really big. Yeah, so I'll wait until I get to those kind of points before I review it. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't play Shenmue 1 and 2.
I did think about that, but I honestly thought because I'd never played at the time, that game might not work for me.
Ooh.
I know, but it just seems like I don't know if too much time has passed. Yeah.
A lot of people have told me it's still as good as they remember.
I'll wait for it to go cheap, and I will probably. I did have it on Xbox, the original Xbox.
I got it for about 15.
Yeah. That's not bad. I got that Royal Edition Final Fantasy on there, the digital version, because it was $14.99 with everything packed in.
Good deal.
Everything in there, yeah.
Just on game sites, do you remember when everybody was complaining that when Ghost Recon was released that it was nearly a gig in install space? Everybody's like, who's got a gig space on our hard drive?
I remember the first game I installed that was over a gig, and that was Starship Titanic.
Oh yeah,
and
that's a game I really want to play, but I've never wanted to play.
Full install murdered my not even 2 gigabyte hard drive. I had basically enough space for the operating system and the game. That was it.
That is a game we need to stream.
Love that game. Love the book.
I've never played. There's a book.
It's based on.
It was based on an actual book. I thought you just wrote it for the game.
Book.
I remember the Starship is mentioned in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Book.
But it was an actual book.
Book.
Oh, awesome!
I had it. I used to read it in school.
Really?
Believe it or not, I can read.
he can nearly get all the way through Janet and John.
Oh man,
you're asking a bit much here.
Yeah, he got to.
I got told off.
He got. Have you got to the big red ball yet?
I got told off by my children because I fucked up Hungry Caterpillar. So that's done.
When you say fucked up the Hungry Caterpillar, what did you do to the Hungry Caterpillar?
Beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Turned it into a donkey, and then turned it into a murdering story. I
can kind of see why they were upset.
Just remember, children, and the Hungry Caterpillar disappeared and turned to a great big got eaten by a spider. That's life, children. You'll strive to get there, but odds are you'll get killed or you'll die in misery later on.
Trapped in the conservatory. You're a butterfly.
Nihilism, children. Nihilism.
Yeah.
Which is basically a very Nier Automata's story was nihilism, just really shit.
That's in the title almost, isn't it? Nihilism. Yeah.
Shit game.
Yeah. I've not played it, and I like picking on Tom for it as well. It's great fun.
Yeah, I don't mind.
So, that's games over then. Has anyone got anything for other news or for you onto TV?
Other news. Linux gaming.
Yes.
Valve I mean, you must have noticed that Steam has had an update recently. Proton. He's just... Are you really that clueless? Well, it's not going to matter to you because you're a Windows gamer anyway, but... So, recently there was an update to the beta client of Steam, which we all used to play our wonderful PC games, except... Tom. Sorry, man.
We nearly converged. He wants to get a PC.
Well, we'll get you sorted out. Yeah. They've released something called Proton. What Proton is Valve's fork, a spin of Wine. So, Wine is not an emulator. Basically being a wrapper that allows you to play Windows games in Linux.
Yeah.
Proton also includes DXVK, which is DirectX to Vulkan, a translation layer that translates calls from DirectX to Vulkan, which is the open graphics API.
I can see right now Middlemesiter is going to enjoy this conversation.
Right. Well, basically,
I'm just going to take a nap, I think.
Once upon a time,
do you want to go get another McDonald's?
I might do.
Once upon a time, if you wanted to play Windows games on Linux, you had to do a bit of legwork. Yeah, so you'd have to install Wine, you'd have to do some work with DXVK, tweak settings, bickety bam, job done, you've got it going. Valve have now made it so that Proton, friendly name Steam Play, it's just literally you're like, oh, yep, mate, I'm on Linux and I want to play some games. It's got a whitelist that Valve have tested with various bits of hardware. Click the fucking button, install it, play the game. Click the fucking button and the Windows game runs.
How... Because obviously it's got to translate to different kind of calls and so forth, and if it's a thing, that's going to be a performance hit.
Yes.
How much performance hit?
If you're on decent hardware, not a huge amount. Not a huge amount at all, but because I'm running on something from...
Can it play Crysis?
Nothing can play Crysis. Don't be fucking silly. Nothing can play Crysis. Doom 2016 though, works fine.
Really?
Yeah. One click install, mate. Done.
Does it have, and have you noticed like any sort of slowdown, anything in it?
I have noticed bugs on my system, but then I'm not really running the optimal system for it. First off, Valve tend to expect most people to be running Ubuntu or a Debian-based system. I'm not.
Does that mean because isn't SteamOS Ubuntu based?
No, I deleted
Debian-based,
I uninstalled SteamOS on my Linux.
Yeah, but that's why they expect you to run it because SteamOS is based on that.
Because of Proton. Because so here's the thing, the Steam client, it works fine. It's hit and miss. It's beta, very early days. I'll get to the whitelist in a minute. Some fucking stupid games on there. One you'll love. Fucking shit. Can we guess what it is yet?
Near Autonoma.
Yes, it is. Right. So, to enable Proton, you have to install the beta. Right. Then, you get the option to disable the whitelist. And...
Oh, someone talked to us, but unfortunately, thought we didn't get passed through to restream.
Annoying.
So, sorry, Jet. We did hit. Sorry.
Sorry, Jet.
He's gone back to work anyway, so...
Have fun. Yeah, you install Proton by installing the beta, and it's there. It says, do you want to use Proton? Yes. And then it has a whitelist. Then it will say, on the regular Steam desktop client, do you want to disable the whitelist and just try anything?
Yeah.
Great.
I was going to say, does it filter it so you can
on
see...
SteamOS, you can't turn off the whitelist. You can only play the stuff that they've enabled for it, which was kind of useless for me to test, which is why I deleted SteamOS installed.
I sort of get it because I think SteamOS is their attempt to basically make Linux gaming machines.
Yeah.
So they only want stuff they know is going to work. I sort of get why they've done it that way.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't have hurt them to allow you to disable the whitelist, because even with the whitelist, games didn't work.
Yeah, to have an advanced option hidden away, like say a whitelist, this will allow you to test other games, but this may not work.
Yeah, and then just...
There's no reason why you couldn't. Whenever you go on a game, it could have a little
box,
and if it says this game might not work, it's not been fully tested.
Well, there's nothing like that on the regular client either. You just fucking hit the button and it's like, boop, boop, there you go, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it doesn't. Nier Automata, which is notorious, horrible port on PC, absolutely atrocious. Doesn't work any better on Steam Play on my rig. It doesn't even launch. Even though it's on the whitelist, doesn't launch. The whitelist itself is a joke. It's a fucking joke. Yeah. Like, so you've got like Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 2016, Nier Automata. There are some games on that, you know, they're worth playing. Right? They are worth playing. I see where they've done it.
I suppose it's in theory, actually, older games should run better because there's less.
Some people have actually played some of the older Hitman games and say they run brilliantly.
Yeah, because there should be there's a lot less system calls and a lot less graphical calls than there as well. Yeah. Anything that's got an older version of DirectX is going to run better.
Anything running like DirectX 9 or whatever should run. Yeah, sweet as enough.
Because 10 was the proper real major leap up.
Which is why we need the XVK to play most of that stuff. Yeah. From what I understand. But the reason, right, I want to just bring up the whitelist. It's stupid because you've heard of Doki Doki Literature Club, right? The visual novel that runs on Ren'Py.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Right. It's like a psychological horror visual novel cross thing. It's on the Steam Play whitelist. I get it, it's a popular game. It's a popular game. One problem. It's got a Linux version. It's got a fucking Linux version. Yeah. So why is it on the whitelist?
But if you're in the Windows version, not the Linux version.
It's got a Linux version.
But if you don't own the Linux version.
No, when you buy a game.
Oh, of course you get both versions, don't you?
Yeah, you get all of them. So
I keep forgetting because Steam's a good system. It gives you both versions. I forget
about
that.
That's insane, isn't it? It's crazy. But here's the thing. Probably the developer, and I have queried the developer on this. Some mup must have forgot to check the box to say it's Linux compatible, because like on SteamOS you can't install games if they don't have the Steam logo on them. So Windows is the little Windows logo, Mac is the Apple, and then SteamOS is just the Steam logo. Yeah. If it doesn't have the Steam logo, you can't install it, and that's the same thing with the Steam desktop client for Linux. But if you download the Windows version of Doki Doki Literature Club, open it up, inside there is the launcher script for Linux. So what we're doing, folks, if you're running Steam Play for Doki Doki Literature Club, Proton.
Seeing Charlie's frustrated.
Yeah. You've wrapped a game that has a native Linux client. I mean, let's put it this way. To prove a point a while back, because I thought this was stupid, because I was like, oh, well, fucking Valve is being a dick because Doki Doki Literature Club isn't on Linux. Yet if you go to itch.io, the Linux client is right there, or the Linux version is right there. And it's like, okay, cool. So I went over to a Windows machine, and I downloaded Doki Doki Literature Club. Looked in the installer file, and there's the launcher script. So I dragged and dropped the launcher script and the contents of the game, that entire directory, put it on a memory stick and connect it up to a Raspberry Pi. It's running Ren'Py, the open source visual novel engine. Loads of visual novels on Steam run that engine. It's cross-platform. It's on everything. Windows, Mac, Linux, phones, right? Launched Doki Doki Literature Club using the Windows download of Doki Doki on the Raspberry Pi. It's fine. It's fine. The Linux version is right there, people. But someone just forgot to tick that box.
Blame the developer.
It's just...
blame the intern who uploaded it to Steam.
Oh god, it's dumb. So it's on the list of approved games for Proton, even though it has a Linux version bundled in with it. So...
No.
Valve...
They can't... Yeah, that's not to say... They're going to... I sort of forgive them for that, because, you know, the developers told us it's not a Linux version. They're not going to decompile it, just have a look themselves.
They don't have to. It's a fucking... Mate, it's an open directory and it's got an executable, a .app, and a fucking .sh script. Oh, you don't need to decompile it. It's just an open directory with trees of fucking files.
I still forgive them for that.
What?
Well, they're just going to test the game. They're not going to look. Why would they even think they're looking at the files? They're just going to test if it works, aren't they?
If I understood this, I would join in the argument.
It's dumb. Valve know what platforms these games run on. They have to. I mean, come on.
Well, clearly not, because they won't let you install it, so they clearly don't realise it runs on Linux.
But what I'm saying is, like, so you've spoken to the developer's, you know, submitted it, you've cleared it for publishing on your platform, but you haven't checked it. You haven't checked it. They've not even. When they looked at it, they were like, "Yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club. That's a really popular one. Let's test that." They didn't even bother to look to see what platforms the dev supported. They didn't even bother to look in the directory.
They probably trust the dev to sort that out.
Through testing, they didn't bother any of it. They were like, "Right, where's that kid that we hit over the head every day, that's laying there dribbling over the toilet seats, right? Just get him to test some of these for us, will you? Does it work? Yeah, alright then, good job, mate. You're now the official Proton tester." And then they put a bullet in the back of his head, which explains why this mistake was made. Because even that kid would have figured out that was fucking dumb.
I wonder what they're going to do then for the whitelist. Is it going to be a case of they're going to keep testing against it, or is it going to be a case of it's a community aspect to that? So as people try games, perhaps when they finish, are they going to be able to say, like, okay, this game worked perfectly or badly or something like that, and sort of like feedback?
Well, they're working on developing wine, just flat out base wine. So they have the wine, the wine database that has like fucking lists and lists and lists of games that have been tested with wine. People are constantly putting in patches and fixes, and you know, if you were to type in like Near Automata into the wine database, it'll say, yeah, does it work? Yes or no?
Yes, but do you really want it to?
Which is pretty much the thing. But like, Valve have already had most of the work done for them. Right. They're just now throwing money at the thing. I suppose I don't think there's any way that we can say that if a game works or not. But they are apparently going to be regularly updating that whitelist. The community has already started throwing together spreadsheets and stuff of games that work on what hardware and stuff like that, different permutations are.
That's what I think the option, the obvious thing to me would be to make the whitelist update easier. Would be a case of you try one a game, at the end of it, once you've run it, it'll come up a little option saying, can you just rate this? Did it work? Yes or no?
What was wrong with it? Glitches, and then could we have a
so forth, blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, they've got the hardware because they've got the hardware survey.
Yeah.
So probably have that ready, and then you till, and by group analysis, they'll be say, well, 99% of people say this game works, it goes on the whitelist.
Yeah,
the game has a 9.9% or perhaps 95% compatibility rate, it'll go on the whitelist. And so
there were people right off the bat complaining that like 3 of the games on the whitelist didn't even launch. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, it's
early days, but
and you are dealing with a bit of software that's got to try and translate a core, and that's always going to be flaky no matter what system you use. There's so many combinations of systems, they can't test them all. But let's be honest, games designed to run on Windows don't always run.
No.
So
no, they do not. But I will say, GG Valve for doing this.
Yeah.
I am concerned that more developers are going to now completely scrap the idea of making a native Linux version of games now that they've got this fancy little wrapper to play with. Because why waste money developing for Linux if you can just run it through Proton? I will say though, Valve, tag messy when I turn on Proton and then disable the whitelist. Don't tell me that I can play every single game in my library. Just, you know, give me the option to say, like, to narrow it down, these ones are Linux compatible and these ones are like Steam Play compatible, and then filter the list that way.
I don't think it'll stop that. I think developers will know the limitations of what the system is, and I think if they want to develop a Linux version, they will still do so. Because to be honest, they wouldn't do it in the first place.
It
may swing the decision making a little bit, but I don't think a lot of developers will
look at the numbers of AAA games coming out to Linux. There aren't a huge amount. I mean, there's a few, but not a huge amount.
No.
What annoys me though is that you see more AAA games coming out for the Mac than you do Linux.
Yeah.
Even though, statistically, there are way more Linux gamers out there than Mac gamers.
Yeah.
More Mac owners, maybe, but you have to spend nearly $1.5 grand just to get a machine with a fucking graphics card in it.
Yeah.
Linux gamer can get the equivalent for what, 600 quid?
Yeah.
You know, so.
And in many ways, Linux hardware is going to be closer to PC hardware than Mac hardware. Although Mac is now x86 based, it's in some ways it's going to be more likely to be close to a PC than a Mac will be.
Well, yeah.
The advantage of Mac is you generally know you know it's going to be a certain type of hardware. You've got your hardware possibilities
of playing games.
Yeah.
You know, because a mate of mine bought what was like £1,000 Mac laptop, and he tried to play Shroud of the Avatar with us, and I've got my like 250, 300 quid Linux PC, and I'm playing it just fine, and he's got his £1,000 Mac laptop, and he's playing it at like 640 by 480 or whatever, some really random standard def rates.
Let's be honest, Apple, despite what they say, have never really been into the gaming market.
No, but it just confuses me why developers are willing to throw money at porting houses to release games on Mac, a platform the majority of users can't play games on.
Probably because the people at Hive have heard of Mac, they have all their iWatches and so forth, they've probably never heard of Linux.
Mm.
You've got people making the decision aren't necessarily the same people who can do the programming.
No.
So, well, this thing is really irritating me.
Oh.
Although it's quite fun, you can almost sort of simulate having a little punching fight, can't you?
I have a small piece of gaming news, but only a small piece.
Go on.
Just one game I'm going to be buying later on when it comes out.
This is things we're looking forward to.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay,
yeah,
so things we're looking forward to.
Oh,
Bit of live stuff.
Mine's Dark Souls Trilogy, which is Dark Souls remastered, Dark Souls 2 with all the DLC added, and then Dark Souls 3 with everything added all in one package. And each game is on the disc rather than digital, which would be quite nice. All in one.
Wow, that's old-fashioned.
All in one. Yeah, I know. Even Spyro is only one game on the disc, and the other digital.
I can't think. I cannot think of the last game I bought on the disc. I'm trying to think what it might be.
No, I buy most on disc if I can.
It would be
Chaos Child. No, Samurai Kagura Peach Beach Splash on PS4.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something around about the early 2000s.
Nintendo Switch would have been.
Mine was God of War. It's pretty recent.
Switch
is technically cartridge, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Like
physical release. Release.
Mine was
do you know what?
That, the Switch.
Shamefully, I think it might be Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
That is pretty shameful.
Yeah.
Of all the ones that could have been, I think it was that.
I do like you less now.
That was a shit game. I think I played half an hour of it and never played it again. That was a shit game.
That was when Ghost Recon and
when it became Call of Duty.
Yeah, and what was the other one? Medal of Honor. When they were trying to compete with Battlefield and
Oh yeah. And then they just because Medal of Honor and Battlefield are both EA, aren't they? And then they just got rid of Medal of Honor and went with Battlefield, didn't they?
Yeah, they were completely different games. So Battlefield was always meant to be a mod special. Medal of Honor was always trying to be quite a serious.
I love Medal of
They
Honor.
were great fun on the PS1 and all that kind of era.
Games.
Yeah, Medal. I mean, last Medal of Honor I played, I got about halfway. What was the one where you set in Asia where you were actually fighting the Japanese? Because it's Frontline, and then after that there was one Pacific. Medal of Honor Pacific.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that was
I've
really
got
short.
those,
I believe.
I only ever finished the first two.
Yeah, I mean, what I remember that Medal of Honor was the levels were bloody huge. They literally take you like a couple of hours to get through. Huge levels, I mean, they're good.
I can't remember what it's called.
Frontline's one I played loads of Medal of Honor Frontline. There's one city which was set. There was one level which was set like this ruined city, and it was awesome. But it was by far the more Medal of Honor's always been a linear game, but that was one of the more linear ones.
Yeah, but anyway, all three Dark Souls. I haven't played any of them yet, so it's going to be that might be something worth streaming just to see me die all the time.
Yeah, I've got Dark Souls 2.
I want to jump into it.
I'm tempted to. Everybody says it's impossible to play without a controller, and I want to try and play on a PC without a controller.
I'd like to get into it. I did enjoy Bloodborne, so I'll certainly.
No, see, then
I'll certainly give it a go.
You've already played Souls.
Yeah.
You've played Bloodborne.
I would like to get into it now. You know, with that trilogy, it seems like a good time with the remaster of the original. And
what I love is that they're releasing a trilogy with the remaster, yet the Switch still hasn't had the remaster of Souls 1 yet.
Is that October now?
I don't know. They keep changing it. Like 1 minute it was supposed to be in the beginning of the year, then it was the middle of the year, and now it's just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's like, when do I get my souls, man?
How come you want it so badly on there? Just a handheld?
No, I just wanted to see how it played. I mean, I've got souls. I first played Souls with Demon Souls on PS3, Dark Souls on PS3, bought Dark Souls on PC, so I was a bit of a Souls fan, you know.
Yeah.
And then Dark Souls on
PS3 originally. 360 PS3.
Yeah, PS3, 360 and PC.
The Dark Souls original one,
Dark Souls 2.
I believe that was the first time they leaked to. That might have been 360 or no, but they haven't ever remastered that one, have they? So I think that was probably.
No,
I think that might have been a double one. You know, like 360
that went on PS3 and
as well.
PS4.
Yeah, like at the end of the generation.
First Sin.
Yeah.
And I had that on PC as well.
And then obviously 3 was quite recent.
Yeah, I got 3 on PC.
Yeah.
I completely forgot I even bought 3. But I always play as the deprived class, so that basically means I run into battle in my underpants.
I'm genuinely impressed that you can do that kind of stuff. I saw you playing that Neo that way. I just can't do that.
Yeah, boy, kicking the shit out of that garden. I was like, oh wait, there was a sword in the box like 3 feet away from me. Fuck it, boot him.
I wouldn't get out of that room if I did it like that.
Oh mate, I love that. It was great. Just fucking get in there and just fucking Leroy Jenkins the shit out of people. See, I actually found a video of me playing Souls, Dark Souls, for the first time in years. Like I hadn't played a Souls game since probably before my kids were born. Because I think Demon Souls came out when Inky was pregnant.
Yeah, that's a different publisher, wasn't it?
When I'd made this video, William was probably about 2.5, nearly 3. So I hadn't played a Souls game in a long fucking time. And I went, oh fuck mate, I nubbed it up hardcore. I was getting wrecked left and right. And then the next time I played it, I did it live a few years later. And I was just like, my mate Divine was like, you're actually pretty good at this. So I fucking just steamrolled it.
Was that Namco who published Demon Souls? Because I know it's someone else, wasn't it? Because then they had to change. Sorry?
That was Bandai Namco.
I think it was, because they then had to change the Dark Souls for the rest of them, didn't they? Because different publisher. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to.
I want it on Switch, but the only reason I want it on Switch is literally because I've got it on PC. I could literally just go upstairs right now and bust up my laptop and play, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
I like it on Switch, but I feel like it'd be good to play that game the first time.
Yeah,
play 60 frames and solid and locked and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah. I will say, please give us Demon Souls. Don't just give us the Dark Souls pack.
There might be an issue with the licensing and
Fuck
who owns
that.
what now with that one. That's the only thing that
Go
might be an issue.
Go find the guy that's got the license, fucking clap him upside the head, say stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
We're releasing a goddamn Souls pack, motherfucker. You can't hold this hostage. This is Souls. Then you pull out your club and just fucking whack him with it. And then text comes up where he's just hit the floor. You've died.
I can add that in later on as a soul patch, you know.
I can say, but surely then if they do that, you see, Skazz, they can't do next year's release the Souls Ultimate Collection, which does include Demon Souls.
They do pretty much do that with. They do pretty much do that with Souls.
They'll just do that with Demons, with Bloodborne added or something at some point.
Have they not already released Bloodborne ones?
Yeah, but I just mean in that trilogy.
Yeah.
Be, you know.
I come on, just give us a pack. Give us a fucking pack. Stop being assholes. I still haven't played Bloodborne, but then
it's very, very, very good.
Then my PS4 spanked it, so I can't really.
No.
Well, I was going to get Neo on PC, and then I'd go onto a Windows machine just to kick that guy in the face again, just because I can.
It does look incredible there. Like the art style is amazing.
Love the soundtracks, by the way.
Yeah.
I've got the soundtracks on my laptop. Love them.
Like technically, the graphics aren't spectacular, but the art style and the look of them and the design of the monsters and things is so amazing. When the music
kicks in and you're about to get wrecked, my fucking god. Even when there's only like a couple, like, when you're deprived like I usually am, just a single archer can really fuck you up. And, because deprived you don't have any weapons.
No.
In Souls 2 you'd start with nothing. You could get a dagger quite early on. A fucking dagger. So most other classes are rocking in like this. I remember talking to this last when Dark Souls 3 came out. She's like, oh, Dark Souls ain't even hard. And I was like, let me have a look at your character. I looked. Like, is this the character you start with? She's like, yeah, just like that. I was like, you're wearing fucking plate mail right from the fucking start. No wonder it's not hard, love.
I'll do all that and still find it hard.
It's like, Christ, you hit like a tank. You could stand there and take a nuke if you flexed. Like, Christ, what did you think was going to happen?
You happy now?
Yeah?
Yeah. Got that out of your
Getting out
system.
of his aggressions.
Fucking play Souls properly.
Yeah.
Run into battle in your underpants, pick up that fucking knife, and jab people with it.
Not to me.
Knife? You absolute nub.
Well, in fairness,
I use a blunt plastic fork.
First
I'd
time
be using a machine gun if I could.
First time I went through Souls 2, I completely forgot to get the knife. And I was doing it live, and there was not a huge monster, but quite a tough monster if you're not reasonably armoured at this point. I just fucking stood there strafing him and just fucking boxing the shit out of him.
Oh, did you get him by cherry tapping him?
That must have taken forever as well.
I tell you, my most proudest moments in gaming was Metro 2033 last
I
night,
remember that.
when I got up against this monster and I had 30 rounds left in my gun. I emptied the whole lot into the gun and I had nothing left, it's all apart from the knife. And I proceeded to go fight the boss battle using nothing but the knife. It took me 20 minutes, but I killed him with just a knife.
Nice.
I did it by basically clipping into him. I just walked into him, so I was inside his model, and I was just going slash, 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 slash. But yeah, 20 minutes later I killed him. I felt so proud. That was one of my proudest gaming moments.
Oh.
Death by 1,000 cuts is for pussies.
Yeah. There was death by like 1,000,000 cuts. I don't think how many times. My finger was really hurting after.
Fucking telefragged.
It's like, I can't record anymore. Let's play. My finger really hurts.
My finger hurts. Oh.
I've strained the tendons in my finger. Yeah. Oh, mummy.
You're fucking Let's Play football style.
Yeah. Now, when I play football, so I have to collapse on the floor, grab my knee, which wasn't even touched, and screaming.
Is that before you even start the game?
Yeah. Oh no, the monster's been mean to me, mummy.
Doesn't even boot the machine. Seconds about to press the power
Someone kiss
button.
it better, please.
He goes to reach over for the power button and just fucking rolls on the floor.
Yeah.
Footballers are pussies. You'll get no argument with me on that one.
Look,
I watched one football match, and they seem every 2 minutes someone's new falling down. It's like, really? No wonder these games take forever if they keep falling down.
We're a lot better in this league than the foreign leagues are as well.
his hair got skimmed by the football. This
Do you know
fucking
what?
prim and proper fucking footballer hair just got skimmed, right? And he fucking hit the deck hard. Grasped at his fucking leg, rolling about. I swear, if I was the ref, I'd fucking stuck my boot in.
I think it should take some lessons from hockey in this regard.
Oh yeah.
Someone gets knocked down, they get back up again, they beat the shit out of the person who knocked them down.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
And then you get a 5-minute fucking major. As long as the other team doesn't score on a power play, you don't feel too bad. Then you go back and beat the shit out of
From
them.
memory, my memories of football was people kick a ball one way and the other. Someone trips over, screams. This guy in black runs over, blows a little whistle, and then all of a sudden someone picks the ball up and throws it and misses. That's my memories of football.
No.
And occasionally they get into this net thing, and then they get all excited.
See, there's no violence there. I don't like it. It's a weak sport.
It is. I mean, I did watch the football games of the World Cup.
Overpaid.
I did find myself, but after 10 minutes, I did find myself like thinking, what's on Twitch?
Yeah. We used to know some football players, like old school football players. All right back then. These days, getting paid too much. Getting paid way too much.
Yeah.
You're not a sportsman. I wouldn't even consider you an entertainer.
If they said that to save money on football, we're going to put any player who goes on the ground will get humanely put down via a sniper.
I'd be there.
No, so on the corner you have 4 snipers, and if someone goes down, you have 30 seconds to get up. Well, that's it. They just treat it like a wounded animal and just shot.
Well, they got a broken leg now.
Like a racehorse.
Dude, just let me
Shot.
Dark Souls.
Like a racehorse.
Okay.
If racehorse is a broken leg, gets shot.
Mate, I would run in a fucking loincloth on television to Dark Souls the shit out of those motherfuckers.
If you want that, just watch North Korean football. That's basically how they do it. But
that's another example why they're more superior to us.
The only problem is they can't afford many bullets, so they don't play that many games.
They've got loads of bullets. Kim will just mow them down with a gat then.
And the great advantage is you go through footballs really quickly, so you keep costs low.
Kim would nuke them.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to pay them so much.
No, true.
Fucking scrubs.
Cool.
Right.
Anyway, moving on to T. Is that everything for other news and looking forward to?
Other than Spider-Man and Dandelion.
Alright.
Senran Kagura boob groping game on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Can't play that.
Cool.
That's it.
Okay.
I just figured I'd mention it just to creep people
out. So moving on to TV.
TV? You mean monitor Netflix. With a sound bar?
Netflix. Moving on to Netflix.
Yeah.
Weekly Netflix review.
I watched a couple of things. But
it's foreign.
No, it's not. Well, it's technically because it's American. But it's all in English.
You're not going to diss it, are you?
No. I'm not going to do that one. I've watched two things, but I'll just do the one.
Yeah.
I could. We'll see how time goes.
We ain't got all night, you know.
I know, because you like to get home to bed.
Most of the day, you see, what's recorded.
Soon there's just going to be a screen.
I get it. I like
cut out.
That's it.
I love football.
With a phone, and I'll say the odd thing here and there.
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, that's the other thing about football, right? You spend the whole game watching people just running around kicking it. Then they have a break, and all you do for the break is just watch clips of the people running around kicking the ball. It's like, this is really necessary. And then at the end, they have this big interview with people who just wrote off cliches, don't actually say anything, and just go on about the fact that it's just. I just want to scream and say, I remember once Doctor Who got delayed because we had to watch it through 10 minutes of that guy with the big ears rambling on about football. I was like, mate, no one gives a shit. They won, they lost, who cares? Just get Doctor Who on.
I love that all football say, I feel like I played more better. I love the more better. It's just something about, they all say, I feel like I'm playing a lot more better.
I play better.
Just weird the way they say more better.
Or kick into the ball.
Football players in general aren't well known for, how can I put this delicately, for actually being anywhere near intelligent.
No, Frank Lampard, one of Chelsea, England midfielder, he's a genius. No, he's got
GCSE.
He's got 160 IQ.
Right. I'm going to stop you there. Okay. IQ is one of the worst measures for intelligence ever devised.
I got 70, so I mean, I'm double figures.
And exactly, there you go. You can actually hold a conversation. I bet he can't. Exactly. Flubberdoll.
Literate in he's like fluent in many languages.
No, I speak quite good.
He speaks proper good, he does.
I'm fluent in many languages.
I'm very good at
I know
words.
Pascal, I know Fortran, I know C#.
Oh, you guys and coding and all that crap.
Fortran.
Perhaps we should share this is Tom Middlemesiter. When he got me to take past McDonald's. And he said, so he went past McDonald's, he came here, dropped off here, he said, I want to eat this where you two talk shit about data packets and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we proceed to talk shit about data packets and stuff.
Yeah, you've done it on here now as well, so I can't escape it.
That's deliberate.
Yeah.
You need to start bringing some strong alcohol with you in future.
Yeah, I'll put McFlurry in the freezer, go grab it in the mid-break while you're talking about stuff like that, and eat it during the stream.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Just don't make too much noise for the audio.
Yeah.
So the series I'm going to talk about is a very strange one. It took me by surprise when I was watching it. It's a sci-fi series called Mars. Right?
I have seen it on it.
Takes place in Scunthorpe.
Well, sure, it could be. You watch it, and it's set in 2033 on the first manned mission to Mars, and it's designed to be a quite hardcore sci-fi. So it's realistic. They thought about how they're going to do it and go off they go. It jumps about a bit. It's like, oh, we're going to go on the ship. Okay, guys, it's going to be a home for next 7 months to Mars. Let's get ready to go. And it goes, right, 7 months later, we're here now. You only get to see him take off. It's quite amusing, that sort of thing.
Fucking amazing.
It is. But then also when you go through it, the main guy's sort of narrating and so forth, talking about through what's going to happen. And he goes something like, but we couldn't have got here without help of others. And then it says in 2033, it comes out 2016. You think, oh, this is going to be like sort of a story about the people in the past and so forth, like sort of a fiction story. And it goes back and it starts to those people think, oh, they've done it like a documentary style. I thought,
Tesla,
I recognise him. And I think I recognise that guy. I can't place him. Then bloody Elon Musk turns up. I was like, This is a fucking documentary. They've got a fiction thing into space with documentary. And to be honest, it might as well be called Mars, SpaceX propaganda. Because the first episode spends most of the time talking about how good SpaceX is and how wonderful it is and how they're going to successfully get to Mars. And
let's be honest, right? Dread Pirate Bezos is probably already there.
Probably.
You should watch The Martian with Matt Damon. That's brilliant. That is.
Yeah.
That's on Netflix. And that's a really good movie. That is brilliant. People thought, obviously not very intelligent people actually did think that was a documentary about events that happened because it's so brilliantly realism, like the amount of detail and realism is
wait,
I need to watch Gravity as well.
No, I don't believe that for a second because there are people out there that are like, no mate, fucking didn't even land on the moon, man. No way, but they'd be like, wait, hang on, fucking minute, hang on. We didn't land on the moon, but we got to Mars.
I think they're a very different side of that spectrum of people.
Look, as you say, Skazz,
very good film though.
You can't care stupid.
No.
You can't care. So people think.
What was it fucking Frank Zappa said? They say scientists theorise that most plentiful element in the universe. I had a brain fart now.
Most hydrogen.
Yeah, hydrogen, right? Wrong. The theory is that the universe is largely made up of stupid because there's more of it.
Well, that's what someone said. That's what dark matter is because there's so much people being so dense. That's what gives everybody gravity.
There you go.
There must be quite a lot of hydrogen though, because that's how the Enterprise flies.
No, it fires through dilithium crystals, isn't it?
Yeah, but the actual fuel that powers that is
antimatter and anti-hydrogens and.
Yeah, but those things at the back of the ship.
They create a warp field around the ship, don't they? Which they
but I saw a documentary about one of the Star Trek where he said that collects hydrogen, which is what fuels the ship.
They do use hydrogen. They use anti-hydrogen hydrogen, which react together through regulated via dilithium crystals, which creates a warp plasma, which is then filtered through to the warp nacelles, which creates a warp field around the ship. That allows the travel faster than light.
I think it was a guy who designed this look at the ship for the Abrams universe. Said that the back of the ship in the original series never lit up, but it does in the Abrams films because it's using power to suck in the hydrogen from everywhere around the galaxy. That wouldn't work. No. There's
simply not enough power in hydrogen to allow you to travel faster than the speed of light. That's simply not possible.
Maybe not the warp field part of it, but just like the regular speed stuff.
And I say haven't got the
regular speed stuff. I mean, like
impulse drive. I believe actually uses reaction mass to make it move. So it actually has got a fuel source that it uses. I believe.
I thought about on the cruise.
Someone call up Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
I want the spec sheets on this motherfucker.
Yeah. So,
tell me how much of this is grounded in reality, mate.
So
maybe we should divert from that whole thing though. We'll save it for next time.
Yeah. I remember when I learnt that Star Trek universe. Do you know why the consoles always explode? Do you know what? No. There's a reason why they always explode, right? It's because it is. Do you know transfer power around the ship?
I know how? I'm going to let you tell it, but I know anyway.
Not via cables or electrical or anything sensible. They transfer via plasma.
I do hear them talk about plasma a lot.
Plasma around the ship, and that's where they transfer the power around.
They do say plasma.
That's why parts of the ship are constantly exploding because they're using. It's like we could transport it through cables, but why don't we use like petrol instead?
If you've ever used a cheap voltmeter and rigged it up to something that you probably shouldn't do out of the sides,
that's what they're constantly. They're literally powering their consoles via plasma. That's what an EPS relay is.
Yeah, I knew that, but I mean,
I'm not a master at this kind of thing, but don't do that.
I remember knowing thinking, no wonder they keep fucking exploding if they use plasma. What's wrong with copper? Copper works.
Yeah.
You don't. It's a laser shave all over again. We see Lord Ford having a shave, a laser shave. You think to yourself, why? That doesn't help.
Dude, just give me a sharp rock. I've got this now.
Yeah. It's like smart TVs. It's not helpful.
Just fucking.
I've never used a smart function on my TV. Like one of them, there's like all these apps.
One of them.
Yeah, I've never used any of them. No, I've not used even one of them. I just use the PS4 because you get a controller. It's a lot easier to use the apps.
It's all in one place.
Yeah,
it's quicker
in one place.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart TVs are so fucking slow.
He's very quick on that, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the Mars. So it's only 6 parts, the S series, and each part vaguely follows a theme, which in the documentary bits or riffs off.
Does that power through plasma?
No, it doesn't. They don't do that. Actually, they use fission. They use nuclear fission reactors.
For a minute there, I thought you said they were going to use nuclear fission rods. I was like, what?
They use fission.
Gone fishing.
Interestingly, I thought it was interesting they decided to use fission rather than fusion, because obviously they realised that fusion is always going to be 20 years ahead.
I was about to say that, but yeah.
And they talk about how they would actually go about setting up a Mars base, and it's quite weird. It's what you see in the fiction part is clearly based on the basically this guy wrote a book called How We Will Live on Mars, and the series is based on that book. And so as he says how they'll get about sort of initially setting up and so forth.
You're saying that this is set up kind of the way that current day is based on George Orwell's 1984.
Yeah. Well, it's all quite sort of it's logical guess of how we would do it. And speaking to people, so like you set up your base, you wouldn't just go to Mars and build a base. You send all the stuff in advance, and you get
bloody
robots.
well hope so.
Yeah. Well, some people think that Mars is going to be like one of those sort of survival games where you just land there and have to build.
We're just going to land there. We're going to hop out of our ship, put down the deck chair.
But no, you actually send all your stuff for your base in advance. You get all built, using robots and so forth. Get all set up. Then you send the people who land nearby and just walk to the base.
And then you end up with Total Recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remake.
Yeah, but they didn't set out on Mars.
All right. So like the first episode all deals with and episodes advance through time, so it goes right from when they first
took place on the exact same day at the exact same time.
But that I mean is it all starts off from like 2053, then as it goes on, it'll get through like 2055, 20%.
It's time travel, and then it goes
as they go from just getting there to initial survival to setting up the colony being expanded, regular shipments from Earth, and
please
so
tell me that all the shipments are coming from Amazon.
I hope so.
Drones, yeah.
It's NASA doesn't exist. It's all been done by replaced by a single organisation who are sort of funding the whole thing, and it's a big international organisation.
That'd be China.
It's actually their main headquarters is in Vienna, and also in London.
Oh, really? Wow.
Fucking London.
Yeah,
that's a bit
so
random.
I was surprised that all the characters in it are either American or European.
So when is this 2033?
2033.
By that point, London will be gone. That'd have gone up in a mushroom cloud. Fucking 20 years prior.
But they've exited the whole, space
union. No.
No, perhaps
See,
at that point we'll realise our cock up and our mistake.
Well, I don't think that London actually exists.
You've been to London, haven't you?
I've been
there.
there.
No, not in like the last decade or so. Right, so
by your logic, nothing exists.
No, see, it's just like America. It's what we kind of tell.
I'm pretty sure it's there.
No, it's a mushroom cloud, man. Like I just said, it just went up. Go on.
It's what we tell.
You're thinking of Birmingham.
No, you might be right.
Yeah.
Somehow I always get them two shells. No, I've been to Birmingham recently. Manchester, maybe?
Yeah, I went to Birmingham NEC recently. Although I think the NEC is the only thing that exists in Birmingham.
That's the only place I've ever been in Birmingham. 3
so
times to the car show.
I think it's literally the NEC.
Manchester, then. It's Manchester. Liverpool?
Edinburgh.
No. Family's just come back from Scotland.
But they come up from Edinburgh.
Mate, you can't nuke Edinburgh. The Scots would just fucking rage at it and send it back.
Headbutt back.
Exactly.
You nuke Edinburgh and cause several pounds worth of damage.
That sounds like London. So it probably was London that went up.
Probably. Didn't London get took over by those zombies?
Why didn't we all
discussed this on podcast episode 1.
That was 28 days ago, that was.
Yeah. Nah, mate, that's zombie you. That's like packing my dream journal. Every video game that takes place in London where it's in ruins.
Mass Effect 3.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Briefly. Yeah. Very briefly.
Well, quite a bit towards the end. You go through London, don't you?
Yeah.
The streets of London, near the end.
Might be playing now.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
Just don't get to the ending.
I didn't mind the ending of Mass Effect 3. Everybody I really didn't mind it.
But it doesn't matter what you did in the past 3 games.
Yeah, but it was never going to work. There was no way they were ever going to be able to end that game in a satisfying way. Ever.
1,000 endings, they could have done that.
No, because they'd always be very to the theme.
Yeah, I know.
Fell victim to the Molyneux effect.
There was no way they built up so much. There was no way they could satisfy it in that game.
No.
So,
No. No.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
so it's actually not too. As a sci-fi, it ain't too bad. As a documentary, it's quite interesting, but it doesn't quite work having them combined together.
Right.
Because if I want to watch a sci-fi, I don't want to watch half documentary. I did find myself like by the second episode, just saw like, oh, I'm documentary, but I'm not really interested. I'm just going to skip through that right back to the sci-fi bit and watch. Because if you want to just relax and watch a bit of fiction, you do. I don't mind fiction based in reality or based on well researched and that sort of thing. I don't mind that, but combined together, it just felt a bit weird. And none of the characters are particularly interesting because they don't get a chance to develop because it's a 45-minute episode, but you spend 20 minutes of those on documentary minutes. You don't really get a chance to develop the characters or anything or so forth. So it's like it's a bit of a it sort of misses the mark.
Right.
Doesn't help that it's very when you watch the preview, it very clearly seems to imply that it's going to be an actual totally fiction thing. I think if I went into it, no, it's half documentary, half fiction. It wouldn't be so bad, but it's all like
that stuff's always a bit iffy, really.
Yeah, it doesn't
kind of
really work. What are we doing for time? That's only 5%, but I'll talk about the other one as well.
Son of a bitch.
So the other, plenty of time. We've got the other series I've watched is Disenchantment.
Yeah, I've seen all of that as well.
Yeah, it's Matt Groening. So Matt Groening's newest.
Oh,
Matt Groening.
That no,
Yeah,
Inky's
Matt
watched
Groening.
it.
It's
Talk amongst yourselves.
Most of his Nick talking, really.
yeah, it's all right. It's not brilliant.
Yeah, it got better as it went along.
Yeah, it definitely picks up right to the end. It's literally the last 3 episodes is where it really picks up.
Yeah, there's things to learn for the next series.
Yeah,
certainly.
they've you can tell they're feeling their way a bit. They're not quite sure where to go.
Looked amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's got a feature where they've called combined CGI with animation, isn't it? It's got that sort of thing to it as
a kind of
well.
storybook background look to it all.
Yeah, it's basically Matt Groening, whatever his name is. I call him Matt Groening. It's his. Whereas Future was their take on sci-fi, this is their take on fantasy.
Yeah.
The trailer is an absolute lie. The trailer completely applies something completely different to actually what the episode, the series is.
Yeah, because I thought the whole thing would be like the 3 of them on the run the whole time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought for the trailer. It looks like they let's be honest, the trailer was deliberately edited to make it look like that.
Yeah, like an adventure, like a kind of action adventure kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, your 3 main characters, you've got Bean, who's the princess of the castle, who doesn't really happy about being the princess of the castle, and she drinks, she gambles, and she doesn't really sleeps around. Yeah, well, she does. Initially she does, but later on she doesn't, because all the men get told that they get put to death. The king finds that she slept with them. So as soon as they realise who she is, they immediately fled and run away.
Yeah.
You've got a chap called Elfo, who is an elf.
Yeah, he looks a lot like a green Bart Simpson.
He looks very much like green Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
And also his characters are the most inconsistent.
Yeah, in terms of his motivations and what he actually does. And
he starts with quite naive, and then literally changes into Bart. It's all like a Bart Simpson, and also the fact that he's suddenly develops a love interest for B. It's like, really, that doesn't work. So it doesn't help. You're trying to sort of recreate Fry and Lee. Then that's not working.
Yeah.
And then you have Lucy the Demon,
who I really didn't like.
Really, he was my favourite character.
I had issues with that. He was one of the biggest reasons I wasn't that big a fan of the whole show, really. I don't really know why, it just bugged me.
He honestly was my favourite character of the whole show.
I can imagine that would be true with a lot of people, but he just bugged me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's basically, she gets cursed. And what I say about the difference to Futurama and Simpsons is that this has got an actual proper story arc building up, and it's not obvious when you first watch it. It builds up in bits over time, and right towards the end it all ties together, which was actually quite a neat little touch. And she basically gets cursed with this demon at the start, that's her personal demon.
Yeah.
And basically, as a wedding gift. And he's going to try and but he's not a particularly nasty demon. He's all encourages bad behaviour rather than.
Yeah, he encourages you to smoke rather than.
He's basically the invasion of Bender, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more mischievous than anything else.
He's in that, isn't he? The voice actor for Bendy. He plays
the king. Yeah.
John DiMaggio.
Yeah, plays the king. Well, a lot of obviously the Simpsons and the thing.
Yeah, they've been
I definitely got the guy from he played I think it's Redmond from the IT crowd.
Renault Industries.
Yeah, he then plays the exact same character in this. Different name, but it's the exact same character.
Was he the boss in IT?
No, he's the prince. The prince who
no, in IT crowd, I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Is he the one that sends her down in the elevator in the first episode?
Yeah.
No.
That's you're thinking of the son.
The son. The son
okay.
is in it. No, that's what I'm saying. The son is his father commits suicide. The son who takes over. He character in the IT is exactly the same as the one who plays the prince. It literally is no real change.
Yeah. I know.
In terms of mannerisms, in terms of style, in terms of personality, he's literally exact. It's like, have they said to just play the same characters before, or does he really? Is that all he can do?
They probably never saw IT Crowd, and he thought, people like me in that. I'll do that for these Americans.
Yeah. So it's.
Yeah.
I think Futurama was always bad. I thought Futurama's first season wasn't that great.
No, I had a couple of bits that were good, but yeah.
But then it picked up. I mean, this has got its bits where you do this sort of like. I had bits where I did laugh.
Yeah, it's showed signs of some real potential.
It's just not there yet.
Yeah.
I think it will get there, but perhaps in another season or two.
Yeah.
Same with Futurama. Futurama wasn't great the first season, but it got there over the course of 2-3 seasons. And
took The Simpsons season 3 to hit its stride.
Exactly, and then unfortunately,
3 to 9 is the golden era, isn't it? For Simpsons?
Let's be honest, Simpsons should have stopped after 9.
Yeah.
It should have. I mean, they're still
What
making
happened in
Simpsons. That 9 was the last funny series.
I think that
After
was Lemon Troy and things like that. You know, the one where the lemon tree gets stolen. There were some very good episodes in that.
What season
then,
was Who Shot Mr. Burns in?
That's only what's it? 5,
5
wasn't
or
it?
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
There you go. That's when it should have stopped. That was the last time they were really funny.
No,
Yeah.
season 9 still has some absolute all-time classics.
The jokes and also as they felt like they sort of lost. It did feel like they run out of ideas of how to do it, and they lost run of it, and the characterisation sort of just dropped off. And I mean, I think so. I don't know if it's still been made. I can't remember if it is.
Yeah, they're now currently working on season 30.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's what they're filming right now.
I haven't watched them since season 10, I think. Season 9.
I have watched it, but there's
actually the last episode I watched was episode 300. That was the last one I watched.
Season 14 has some very good episodes.
Honestly, lost all interest in watching Simpsons. Just
I love it.
It's very much of, and trouble is it got repeated so much on like Sky, repeated to death, and it's just sort of. It just, I mean, I caught a glimpse of one the other day from one of the episodes. It's like it's just sort of. I actually found I think it's sort of lost it a little bit now. It's lost its sort of. As age has gone. It's gone on. I'd much rather watch Futurama again. I would watch Simpsons again. And Futurama had a painful history in its life as well. It got sort of shut on. Yeah,
Rick and Morty is absolutely outstanding.
I've not watched that yet.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant, that is.
And
Final Space, both on Netflix. Final Space is very, very funny too.
Yeah.
I'd
recommend both of them. Trailer Fire Space was not very good though.
I know, but the first episode's a bit iffy, but they're so funny after that, and they're really great characters, and there's a lot of like meaning to it as well as just funny. That's very good.
The trouble was the trailer didn't make me laugh.
The trailer's not very good, but then trailers shouldn't really make you laugh and laugh and laugh.
But you really want to watch the show.
Yeah, but
and there's scenes in the trailer made me want to watch the show because there's just that one bit where the carriage goes in the water and that woman shouts out, "I'm drowning." The guy goes, "Hi, I'm Alpha." Okay, I'm going to watch that show. That was funny. That is actually clever.
It's good to do a couple of jokes, but there's a lot of movies and things like that do all the best jokes in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best joke, but it has to have a good joke in it.
Yeah, but I loved the show. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
I thought it was really funny because he's the prisoner, like alone, and he kind of goes a little bit crazy and just considers himself and calls himself the captain the whole time, even though he has. I think David Tennant plays the villain, and it's really, really worth watching. Just give it a couple of episodes to get used to the characters. It's funnier and better than Disenchantment. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this one's a case of watch and see what happens in this.
I give it a couple more seasons before I give up on it or anything like that.
Yeah, unless it goes all downhill.
I'm not sure he used the fact that he was on Netflix to the fullest advantage either. I know the episodes lengths are a little bit longer.
I think the fact allowed him to actually put up an arc in it because I think his other shows have always been very much a drop in, drop out. You know, you can, in the case of like The Simpsons, you can pretty much pick any episode randomly and you can watch it and it ain't going to affect you're not going to have anything. There's no real there's no real sort of continuity there to worry about.
No.
Same Futurama, most of the Futurama there isn't a lot of continuity to worry about.
No, little elements in there about Leela's parents, but nothing
major.
No.
Nothing major. Disenchantment though has got a continuity, which is a bit different and sort of, as I said, I thought fairly well done. That it ties together really, literally in the last few episodes, all these random things all just suddenly tied together.
Yeah, he just didn't bring the funny as much as he should have done.
No, I don't think they quite have made. As someone I read online said, Futurama was written by people who are obsessed with sci-fi, so they were able to riff on it properly. You get the feeling that Futurama is not written by people who are obsessed with fantasy.
No, that whole medieval era is harder to riff on as well. Sci-fi, there's so many things that you can poke fun at. I know medieval, there is quite a lot of that in fantasy and stuff, but
I don't know, I think there's quite a bit you can riff on in medieval time.
Yeah, but
they do things like they've got the herald where he says, he comes and he says, talks about they call it the news, and he walks in, he goes, "Is your food poisoned? You'll be shocked when you find out the answer."
Yeah, and he does it in the middle of the night, waking people up and all that kind of stuff.
So it's got its moments.
Yeah,
it's just not quite hit that critical mash yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Right, that's it from everything from me. Anything from anybody else?
No, that's it for me.
No,
I don't watch telly, mate.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you two can watch half as much as you do. I really don't.
I watched Preacher recently, but that's the third season. That'd be tricky to talk about that with massive spoilers.
To be fair, I often watch stuff while I'm doing other things, so I sort of half watch and I'm doing other things at the same time.
I couldn't even listen to that show you were just talking about.
No.
Fucking made me want to throw up. I was like, what a crock of shit this is.
There was only 8 episodes.
10
episodes. So it wasn't...
shit. It was fucking awful. Like fucking walking in every now and then as my wife's watching it, and it's like she's having a little chuckle every now and then. It's like.
But we're fans of that whole Futurama.
Yeah,
and
but
Simpsons.
I've watched Simpsons and Futurama.
Yeah.
Do you like Simpsons or Futurama?
I like Futurama.
Yeah.
Simpsons should have stopped at Who Shot Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Well,
it went on.
You want to know who shot Mr. Burns? So
that's what I mean. It should have stopped at the end of that arc.
Simpsons really has. If that's still going, it tells me it has really outstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, season 9 was.
It's basically a parody of itself at this point.
Pretty much. They just take things too far now with jokes. But yeah. Anyway.
See, Holmes should be dead by now, really.
Probably. Yeah.
For actual time. Right, well in that case, that's it from me, so I've got nothing else, so thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
TheSuffolkRam.
Dark Middlemesiter.
Skazz.
And we'll see you in a fortnight for episode 97. So until then, see you later.
I wonder if I'll remember the next one, because I completely forgot this one was happening.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So when I went on to the door, do you think...
Like seriously, I got told this afternoon that the podcast was happening. So, it's podcast night, and I was like, what? It's like no fucking chance, man. Like I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have an early night tonight. No.
I just love the idea of a knock on the door thinking, who's that?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Who's that person?
Well, I did wonder. I was like,
I hear the door and it's me in my backpack, my phone, and go, oh shit.
Oh look, we're doing.
That always happens when you open the door. No, people open the door to you.
Yeah, you do.
They see you.
Normally say it back in my face.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. I completely forgot. I completely forgot. I was like probably about.
If it makes you feel better, my family forget. It's why I've been doing it now for regularly every fortnight for the last 2 years. They still say, it's a podcast night tonight. No, that's last week.
My family know I'm doing it, but my mum has absolutely no idea what a podcast is.
Probably for the best in the grand scheme.
My family have watched us on the live streams.
My parents have never even, got on YouTube while we're on.
They know what YouTube is.
I don't want them to see me on it,
I would like to apologise to Ram's family for all of the piss poor content that Ram has made them suffer through.
And all your swearing.
All this time. My swearing is a given. I've had to put up with Ram for the last...
You did get banned from swearing once.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one episode where you couldn't swear and that was hilarious.
Oh, that would be good. Do that again.
Oh, mate, turning off the swearing's easy as can be. It's easy.
Yeah.
The one was like, and that was.
Well, the trouble is just you lot
Bad!
talk about absolute garbage. Constantly.
I talk about great stuff like
junk.
Assassin's Creed and Disenchantment and things like
Oh,
that.
right, I'm out. Fuck that.
I finished that the other day.
Bye!
That's it.
What a way to end the podcast.